Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am your soul caster in today's adventure of a peek into what is to come. Teams that are fresh into the VRML that are not necessarily fresh in player-wise. We do have Halgun versus Illusionist, 2 squads that have not had the opportunity of being showcased on any VRML stream in the past from what I have researched. And so it's going to be a interesting sort of series to watch as these new teams duke it out. And I say new as Halgun is a new squad to Season 11, Season 12. Illusionists joining in Season 11. Some players on that Illusionist squad playing in Season 10 as well, I believe. And so both of these teams relatively new to the VR Master League. They've come in with a huge wave of people into the VRML, and I think it's a scenario that I've run into more and more is where I have a team fresh to Season 12 with 1 or 2 veterans and some new players, and then a team in Season 11. They're both duking it out, and these matchups have been great so far to watch. The score lines have been pretty close. We have had a best of 3, a map 3 decider where it came down to 3-3. It was a fantastic series. So I've seen some very good matchups come through from both of these, from new squads so far. And so I'm very intrigued to see what we get out of Halgun and Illusionist. For those that don't know how the system works, home team gets the first ban, that is Halgun. Away team gets the second ban, that is Illusionists. And home team then gets to pick the map. And for map number 1, we are going to be headed to Cargo. So close quarters right out the gate. And I think from what I can tell, we also may be in for like a bit of a throwback, because I believe we are going to be starting 4v4, if I am not mistaken. Eventually, I think that will get populated and it will be a 5v5. But at the start of this series, I think we are going to be starting at least round 1 4v4, just due to the squads in their lobbies and being able to get them in. But regardless, it'll be a fun matchup to drop into. A shout out to everyone that is dropping by. If you are tuning in from that VR Master League Twitch stream, YouTube, Facebook, or Horizon venues. Ooh, I had to pause and adjust. Horizon venues, please do. I do really appreciate that. And if you don't know what Horizon Venues is, you can check it out by going to your Oculus Quest or Quest 2, downloading the app, and enjoying these matchups in a basically theater environment, a large screen with a bunch of other people that enjoy watching these games in VR. It's a really cool way to watch esports, in my opinion, in general, but especially the VRML matches with a bunch of other VRML fans cheering on your favorite team. I don't know who I have as a favorite here in this series. You know, looking at Halgun, it looks like it's a team that's been put together for Season 12 with a bunch of players that have played on a bunch of different teams over the course of Season 11. You know, it seems to me like it's players trying to find a good rhythm with a good squad, and so I really am curious to see what kind of communication we get out of Halgun, what sort of coordination we see from them. And on Illusionist's end, they've been around since Season 11, so they've had a little bit of that experience. They've had the ability to sort of hone their craft a little bit, at least. I don't know when they joined in Season 11. That's always the question, right? But they have played at least a few games in Season 11. And so it's going to be really interesting to see what this new squad can bring versus this old one. And I do think that Halgun may actually start at a disadvantage. They may start 4v5 as they do try and populate that 5th role. There is a few different options available to them. They can dip in to the reservist pool. For those that don't know or maybe are interested in joining the VR Master League, you can join as a reservist. That means that puts you in a pool of players that aren't available to commit to a team, but might be free for a match or two if they are pinged. And so you can kind of join this pool of players. As you win or lose on teams, you have a rating assigned to you, and so you can join certain teams at certain ranks and have a pretty good experience playing in the VRML alone. But you know, the obvious downside of having to dip into that reservist pool is, you know, you don't have the familiarity with your squad, you don't have that coordination that you might be hoping for. And in Howgun's case, you know, talking about how they are a new team and having that coordination is important, but maybe reservist wouldn't impact them as much. So we'll see if they can populate that 5th spot. They have a few more minutes, and so I think we may cut to a intermission for just a few minutes, and when we come back, we'll be jumping in to Cargo for round 1, regardless of who is where. Don't go anywhere. Map 1, Cargo, is about to kick off in just a few minutes. Thank you, everybody, for patiently waiting for the start of the action. I bring good news, although maybe a bit buggy. There is a full 5v5. Howgun versus Illusionist. They've managed to lock in a sub to pull into their match, and we are into that full 5v5. Illusionist out the gate, setting up early into their defensive positions for this center objective. A good solid spread, hunting for any early angles, and a bit of a slower rollout for Howgun as they kind of get coordinated, get caught up here. They've just got their 5th in, you know, this in this lobby, and out the gate we have Gun Grip Customs scooping up one. Right up through the center, has a key defender down. Jelly Jam James gonna want to rotate over here to the center to cover this, but oh, that's a big pickup. Ripper there shutting down the tunnel push up. If that had come through, that would have been bad news. Meanwhile, VR Revere Reverie. Reverie? That's what we're going with. There, the V's are stylish. Reverie scoops up one on the cross. Howgun getting pinched for really this middle entryway, and unfortunate that Gun Grip has gotten that center kill. Does allow them to actually try and push through, and really the center push is all that matters. The objective is in the middle. Ripper here is on a rotation, and the trade coming in. Gun Grip Customs goes down, and Gun Grip is resable, so usually you can pop down here, scoop that up, and a fortunate trade for Howgun evens it down to a 3v3. Jelly Jam still on that edge, not pushing in yet. You can hear the accurate kill count coming in from Howgun. So far, good communication. Slenmy is going to be very important here. They're looking to cut the toes off of anyone that tries to push in. Yuzi's there, and his toes get cut off. Instant pickup. Gun Grip Customs going to swing wide. Jelly Jam James is on a rotation. Grip hears that. Jelly finds one, finds two. Illusionists hold with a solid defensive round to kick off this series, but we are underway. Apologies for that KD feed. It does look like we are going to be missing one of the shooters on the Illusionist side, but let's see if we can figure out the solution for that. Either way, the start to the series, and Illusionist with a nice solid hold. Good pickups on the edges that really shut down the ability for Illusionist, or excuse me, for Howgun to surround and strangle, if you will, the defense. And, you know, I saw right away Illusionists instantly went to their positions. Very clearly, they used this time of us solving these technical issues to get their strategies figured out for at least the start of this first round. Right away, going right to where they need to be, and I wonder if that's going to be an indicator of how this Illusionist team is prepared here for this series. Maybe we'll see some more consistent sort of coordination from them. I really don't know what to expect as I do cast both of these teams for the first time. It's, well, I think they're also their first time being cast, and so it's a fun experience all around. I get to kind of see some new strats. I know talking about the focus of trying to cast new teams at the start of the season, a lot of even some of the veteran players said that they are learning some new spots from these new guys because they're innovating. You know, these new players are seeing these maps for the first time with fresh eyes, and they kind of bring a different perspective sometimes to the maps that, you know, you don't see when you've been playing the game for what for some of these players can be 5 years. If you look at the VRML, we've been around for that long, and there are teams that, like beginners, have competed in the VRML for 5 years. They've played this game for over 5 years, and so they really have obviously a very core fundamental understanding of the maps, but they don't get the opportunity to look at it with a fresh perspective anymore. The game is very much the game at this point, and so I am a bit curious if we'll see some sort of new strats come out here from the likes of Howgun or Illusionist. But already I see indicators that Illusionists are coming prepared. Howgun Art do have that sub. They've dipped into the reservists pool, I believe. I'm looking at the active roster for them correctly. I do believe Gun Grip Customs is coming in from that reservist pool. I certainly did come out the gate guns blazing, a good couple of pickups, but that trade shuts them down, and Illusionists pick up that defensive round. Back into the action we go. We swap sides. The defending team now attacks the same objective.
There's a fucking door on my back.
And so we'll see what Illusionists do on their offensive round. I'm very curious to see if they're going to be charging out here the gate or if it's going to be a bit of a slower rollout. I'm interested if Howgun are going to invest in a bit of an aggressive push. Already some pre-fire down core lanes to shut down any aggressive swinging creeper, throwing down that LMG fire, allowing for the push to come forward. Slenmy catches one all the way on the other side of the map. Amidst the chaos, Gun Grip Customs goes down. The sub for Howgun getting a little bit aggressive. And now the smokes are on OBJ. Slenmy is pushing up. They cut the toes down from Tampa, and they do. Yuji is here to peek, and there's a good refrag coming in from Yuji. A nice reaction to shut that down. And in the smokes, they fire rounds, and I love to see the understanding here. Yuji playing this one smart, getting into the smoke, making sure nobody's capping under their nose. That is definitely the case. Slenmy is down and Resible, and if Yuji was just a little bit more to the right, they could have been peeked through that gap.
I don't see anyone.
There's the confirm. Ripper peeks on the corner, and an unfortunate trade comes through there. Book of Page, the final two defenders from Howgun. Illusionists, meanwhile, setting up a flank as they pop out of this tunnel. On the backside of this defense, Creeper has kept the attention with this LMG fire as both Geo and Book of Page have shifted to that side. There may be a cap opportunity here for Illusionists. So the Book of Page get ID. Geo gets flanked. Creeper comes through. Illusionists with a great bit of coordination. Lock in round number 2. An unfortunate early death there from Gun Grip. Yuji playing that defense well, getting into that objective, making sure no caps were coming through, but of course that opens you up to being surrounded and a tough one to defend once they've lost those edges. And so Illusionists take up a 2-0 lead. Howgun's map pick on Cargo here, and the close quarters may not be what they need. And I wonder if Illusionists are going to stick to this close quarters as we continue on through the series. If you look at the bans, again, Subway and Quarantine are off the table. That still leaves us with maps like Snow Peak and Shipyard, with obviously Snow Peak having its a lot longer range. Shipyard also does have a lot of range moments, especially if you get up onto the elevated positions. So, you know, very well could be the map. It could be that, again, Howgun just need to shake the pre-game jitters off. Now that they've got their full 5, they don't have to plan for 4. And you can kind of, again, figure out how your sub is playing and try and adjust strategies to them or adjust them to the strategy. Try and inform them on what you're going to do. There's a minute and a half between rounds. And so that's what our teams are doing right now. They're discussing, hey, I want you at this location. There's a map that you can draw on that is shared with your team, and so you can indicate where people should go while you're talking. And it's a great way to try and coordinate your plays. You do see a lot of players using it. If you do join comp lobbies in Onward, they write up where they're going to go, say, hey, I'm going to that location on the map, and kind of gives people an indicator of what angles are going to be covered in advance, so you can focus on where you need to focus and make sure that there's no gaps in the overall armor, so to speak. But a good start for Jelly Jam. 3-0. Slenmy 3-1. Usually coming alive there that last round 2-2. And like I said, it's just going to be a matter of Howgun shaking the cobwebs off here and getting ready to roll for map number 1. See if they can do it as they go on the attack for round 3. Pop into the action.
Can I do what I did last time and just like wait until people die? Because then I got behind everything. So do that. It's over there, right?
Probably with your uplink.
Love to hear the discussion of strats, what's working, what's not. Gun grip, investing in an early swing wide. They're hunting for some early pickups through the barrels here. No one from Illusionist committing to that cross as they come right out of spawn. A very fast cross to get there as Creeper and Slenmy are set up. And I like how Howgun are playing this one a little bit more conservatively. They're back, not necessarily against a wall, but down 2-0. It seems that they're at least looking to start. You know, this round 3 with a little bit of a different style as Gun Grip makes it past some shots from, I believe, Slenmy. Jelly Jam is also set up here. A lot of different angles that Gun Grip could be shot from. And he is drawing a lot of attention. The smoke over here on this side, the rest of the Howgun squad waiting to see if anything's coming up through the center. There's that peek again. Gun Grip dodges past Slenmy's angle. Information for this Howgun team to work with. Also, Gun Grip is hearing these comms. Tries to throw that nade. Is that far enough? Yeah, I was worried that might kill a Gun Grip there, but they tuck in. They're safe from their own frag, thankfully. And a lot of eyes, again, getting driven towards Gun Grip. The rest of the Howgun squad, Yuzi, Book of Page, pushing in up to the middle. You and Tamba swinging around the edges here, and Flash comes out over the top. Gun Grip catches out Slenmy. One too many times peeking that same angle. Gun Grip has information. I don't know that they know of Jelly Jam James' position. After hearing Creeper's shots, they're definitely aware. Creeper catches one trying to cross.
Across the lane.
Custom wants to get rid of that, but there again are 2 here.
He's gone.
So I wonder if Gun Grip is going to commit to the push here. This coordination, very important to holding this tight angle.
Hostile down. Up to left side west.
It is this hard to see, too. Jelly Jam very camouflaged in that back corner. Only when you see the outline do you see them well. Gun Grip looks at them, and a trade comes through. Creeper goes down, but does get rid of Gun Grip. Yuji has managed to cross and is trying to clip the toes of Creeper from underneath the edge. I think Creeper recognizes this and tries to rotate off. They drop into the cargo crate and find Yuzi up through the center. An aggressive rotation. Can they find more? Tamba goes down. A huge double. Book of Page, the final attacker for Howgun. But there's only 2 left for Illusionists. So an opportunity for a 1v2 clutch from Book of Page here. Oh, and they catch Revere swinging around. Reverie, excuse me, going for that res. Can't quite find those shots. That puts them on a bit of a pause on their advancement. Ripper is holding this angle. Oh, and Book of Page nearly getting tagged up. Now their position known. Actually going to look for that fight with Ripper. Don't see it. 45 seconds left, though. The tunnel vision definitely going to play into effect, and I wonder if Paige is aware of the time left. 30 seconds gives you a beep, an audible one, and so you'll hear that now. And it does look like time is going to be getting away from them. Oh, now book checks. 15 seconds left. And again, I don't think they look at the time, just verifying that they're the only one left alive. So many things to be paying attention to in this game at, you know, the base, at the core level, and time is one that even high-level teams forget about. There is a 6-minute round timer, and the goal, if you're not aware, is for the defense to survive that 6-minute round timer or kill the attacking team. And so illusionists have survived, with although one left alive on the enemy side. The timer of this round runs out, and that is a point for illusionists. They go up 3-0, and a near moment there of a comeback. Almost had eyes onto that cross. Reverie going past Book of Page's line of sight. If that kill comes through, it's a 1v1. And we're into that sort of battle in that gap, but not the case. 3 left alive for Illusionist as that res comes through, and so far a good solid couple of rounds coming in from this Illusionist team. Howgun seem to be getting their groove a little bit, though. You're seeing Tamba come alive there in that last round. Another kill for Gun Grip Customs. Again, maybe just a case of needing to warm up. We'll see if they can find it here with a little bit of a comeback spree in map number 1, or if it's going to come down to them of shifting and adjusting for map 2. Certainly is the question. Either way, a solid display from both teams, really. Illusionist in particular looking good on the coordination. The comms very active, discussing strategies before getting into that round, and then obviously during the round, very communicative with each other. And that's probably one of the most important things to a good team. Something you realize after playing together with a squad over several seasons. The coordination is super important, and if you want to try and climb the regular season ladder, that's how you got to do it to get those W's. Back into the action we go. Howgun.
I was lagging. I didn't hear what you said.
Round reset.
It was their fault, bro.
Okay. A little bit of a false start. But Howgun going on the defense. So they're going to get any opportunity to put up a round on the board. It's going to be now. Most players consider the Volk side or the defensive side or the orange side to be a side that has an advantage, in that you can wait for the enemy to come to you. Some teams excel at going to the defense, so I have come to believe that the Volk advantage varies from team to team, really. And Illusionists have already secured, I believe, 1 Marsoc round, and so certainly are capable of doing it again, but Howgun, I think, have warmed up just a little bit and had a little bit of bonus time to hash out a strategy as we hopefully get everyone sorted up on the Illusionist side and ready to go. Maybe they're starting to think where they're going to be heading for map number 3. That is always a question as you start to get near the victory of the first map. You know, you're riding that momentum. Where's a place that you all excel at that you can try and win that second map? For those unfamiliar, we always play out all 3 maps in the series. So we'll see what happens, but either way, Illusionists.
We'll do quests, because they banned quarantine, so I'll go with
Oh wait, they did.
Ooh, and we're getting a little insight here.
Alright, which one's Ripper? Or Rev?
USS
You're right.
Quest seems to be the consensus, and while both maps are close quarters, Quest is still a very different map in terms of how you can approach. One of the largest adjustments to this map is the formerly open lane through the center. Used to see a lot of pre-fire right out the gate, try and shut down crossing. That is not the case, and
I'm down, Ripper. If you can come
to
get
a
me
very
right side,
early
right in the next
trade.
tunnel, I down the person who
Geo
shot me.
finds one. Ripper working around to confirm that kill. And the defense is heavily set up around objective. I think is the smart decision here. Tamba tucked into the corner, trying to use this almost as a bit of a camouflage in the darkness. They're so close to IDing what is several illusionists stacked up here. Slenmy catches one from the toes. There's the identification as Ripper gets them usually able to find that shot over the top. Another kill coming in from Jelly Jam James. The push coming in as Gun Grip Customs trades with Slenmy and Illusionist. Overwhelm Halgun 4-0 on their map pick. A very solid victory coming in from them, and that push looked very good. I think if anybody's getting warmed up, unfortunately for Halgun, it is Illusionists. And map 2, as we did hear the chatter, looking to be USS Quest, so we'll get that set up in advance. Prediction of that accurate knowledge, but maybe they'll throw a curveball. Makes sense, though, to stick to the close quarters if Quest is where we're headed. Very similar in the sense to cargo that there is cargo crates. But the real meta of the map is different. The edges of the map act very differently, and even up through the center is played, I guess, similarly. You can push into the center, but either way, USS Quest likely to be where we're headed for this Illusionist map choice after they, again, coming off a very solid 4-0 W. It just seems like they've caught Halgun off guard here. And Halgun, they've played 3 games already this season, starting off their season with 2 losses and then finally locking in a W against Atomic Smoke, I believe. So they are coming off of a victory. They do know how to put up those dubs, and so not going to count out these squads just yet. I think we may have to do a bit of a lobby shake-up as well, which hopefully will also give us a accurate kill death feed instead of having 2 creepers. Definitely not 2 of them playing in that game, although that's what the kill death feed would show you. And it does look like we're going to have to sort out the issues on the tech side. I suppose it gives us a moment to shout out everyone tuning in and hanging out across all the different platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Horizon venues. Really do appreciate you all dropping by and hanging out. Also, maybe that for those that aren't aware, at the end of Season 12, we host a tournament that takes the top 8 teams from the regular season ladder and pits them against each other. They all compete for a chance at a prize pool that is accumulated from our sponsors. We have several sponsors. You'll see them ticking over here on the side. VR Cover, VRware, Asterion, VRML, obviously sponsoring that prize pool. And with some new additions like Border Foods. If you want to learn more about that sponsorship, you can do ! Border Foods in chat. They are one of the largest Taco Bell franchises in the Midwest. They offer fair working wages and scholarship opportunities amongst a bunch of other great benefits. And if you are interested in working for a good company, you can check out Border Foods. But the partnership there, you can learn more about at borderfoods.com/VRML. It's our first sponsorship branching outside of VR-specific products. As you can see, most of our let me try and update the map here. Most of our sponsorships are VR specific. And so, if you do give, I think we will have to cut to a brief intermission while I do try and sort these tech difficulties out. When we come back, we'll jump right into map number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for patiently waiting for the start of map number 2, another close quarters map as we do enter into USS Quest. And as we patiently wait for the start of round 1, we can take a gander at the active rosters. If you haven't already looked at who's playing, Illusionist utilizing Slenme 29, Creeper 55k, Jelly Jam James, Reverie, and Ripper. Finally, a non-bugged scoreboard. Yuji, Book of Page, Tamba, Geo, and Gun Grip Customs, the sub, consisting of the Howgun squad. And yeah, gonna be interesting to see how Howgun reacts to the USS Quest map pick. They have, again, that Volk advantage that we've talked about that maybe isn't necessarily an advantage for some teams. Illusionists certainly have been looking good on their Marsoc plays, very coordinated, and when you're synced up and coordinated like that, it does allow you to really overcome any sort of offense. And with our first objective on the edge here, you know, it's, well, it is, you know, obviously looks sort of similar to the cargo map. It just acts very differently. The edge on the outer side here, super easy to utilize to push down this lane undetected with a simple crouch as you duck along the side here. Oftentimes teams invest in defending this edge by setting up into these small alcoves, and you'll see long-range firefights across both sides here on that edge of the ship. The other side, red lane, a very highly contested lane as well, with a lot of these HESCO crates, very unique in that you can crouch behind them and be completely undetected even to a standing shooter from all the way back as far as, you know, from very far back. So allows for a bit of an interesting creeping style of attack. And so it does really come down to how the defense sets up. So for map number 2, we'll see how Howgun play. I don't even know if Howgun have played this map, as they do seem to be a little bit surprised by the map design. It's very cool in that you're in a bathtub and are essentially a small ant. This may mean that illusionists are going to have a bit of an advantage on their pushes here, because they have a bit more of an understanding of this map. They picked into it. You can even see suppressive fire coming in to standard early defensive positions over the ledge. But nobody has pushed up or set up here. Gun Grip Custom's able to trade with one up through the center. Creeper continues to fire suppressive rounds down onto Geo's head now as Geo slowly crouches around to this red lane. Res comes through. Howgun actually taking an advantage for the first time, I believe. Tamba and Geo trying to work together on the edge here. It's actually not a bad setup. Have Tamba covering where they're covering. A good line of sight. The trouble is the push is focused more on the objective side. There's that edge getting utilized as Jelly Jam drops off the side there. Able to scoop up Book of Page. Usually keyed into that threat now as well. Are they going to also beat that edge? They are. Jelly almost gets another. Actually does, up over the top. Gun Grip goes down. Usually cannot connect here to this edge flank. Meanwhile, Reverie's pushing forward. The comms encouraging it. There's a good pickup from Tamba off the backside. A firefight over at red lane, and Illusionist pushing on all ends, and Howgun denying it. Yuji able to pick up Jelly Jam. Another smoke comes up over the top of Geo, and Geo is tucked in here. This could be bad news for Illusionists. Creeper goes down off of the backside. Slenmy wondering what the heck's going on. Their own smoke working against them. And as they tuck in, Geo creeps forward here. Both Tamba and Geo able to hold this side. Big pick up there for Slenmy. A 1v2. Can Slenmy clutch this for Illusionists? Or will Howgun get on the board here with a round on Illusionist map pick? Oh, this suppressive fire comes flying around. Tamba connects the LMG dump. Missing around Tamba's body. Howgun are on the board. Oddly enough, on Illusionist map choice as well. You know, it does seem to happen that way from time to time, where the enemy team does better on the opponent's map choice. Maybe it's a bit of overconfidence in their pick, I don't know. Just off of the early comms, I almost figured Howgun were unfamiliar with the map, but they played it well. Tamba holding nicely, Geo picking up a kill, Yuji with 2 on objective. Huge pickups on defense. Need a little hydration break after that action. still, though, Illusionist finding some kills as well, and so maybe Howgun warmed up. A new beginning, if you will, could be what they need. You know, get to kind of see what Illusionists do. They are down. First time that Howgun have had a kill advantage or a lead here. It's also the first round they score, so definitely a very good start momentum-wise for this Howgun team. I presume Illusionists being around for at least a full season in Season 11 have, though, the experience to sort of bounce back from a few losses here and there. You definitely have to be. Howgun proving that they can, but for how long is that question? Can they hold and defend effective? Can they attack? Clearly they can defend. Can they attack effectively on this map? There's a lot of early angles that Illusionists can take. We'll see if they invest in any aggression down red lane on defense as we drop into round number 2. A bit of a false start, it seems. For those unfamiliar, a team has 15 seconds at the start of a round to reset the round. That requires everybody on the team to quit or click the reset button. This then simply just resets the round to start again with no points being attributed. So you see a team wins come up. That is not the case. There's actually a built-in feature to competitive lobbies that you can reset around if anyone has issues or you want to reconnect so that a person can join. It's a very cool system. The unfortunate reality is that the kill death feed does pick up your team kills. So now Tamba -1 on the on the scoreboard. And for those, again, maybe just dropping by, take a look at the overall score. Cargo 4-0 for Illusionist, but Howgun managing to drop back here with a point on the board. And map number 2, round number 2, I think now officially beginning. We're gonna wait to confirm, and here we are. Round 2. And here's some comments there. This map is confusing. Familiarity on Illusionist side too, even though they pick into it. I just love to see it, you know. It's the, again, fresh perspectives coming in on these maps, literally sometimes for the first time. And you're seeing them play it competitively, so how do they do that when that sort of pressure is on for your team to get a W and advance up? Out the gate, Howgun heavily applying the pressure with utility. Both Gun Grip and Yuji charging in here up through the center as suppressive fire comes in towards Creeper. Gun Grip tries to catch the edge. The edge drop here not safe as Ripper is taking up a position in that alcove like I mentioned. Slenmy also getting up into a bit of a strange spot. Gun Grip not going to be likely to be ready for this. Yuji dropping off, catches one, can't get the second.
Good kill, Ripper. Oh, Ripper traded. He's dead now. Sacrifice not being made.
But the objective defense is looking good. Howgun getting shut down on that over-aggression. Tamba gets chopped up in red lane. Geo able to find the refrag. Now a 2v3. Reverie is going to rotate around to this red lane side. Has to be a little bit careful. They do come in charging through. Geo will have information. And a very key duck. Geo pops up to hunt. Reverie out of line of sight. And again, these crates, they're not these crates, the cement blocks here. Really offering some big time cover. Book of Page down in through the center. Geo all alone as Howgun not able to put together fully coordinated attack. Reverie scoops up the final kill. Illusionists also can defend. They managed to take a round, tie this map 2 up. Not gonna let Howgun get away with that first round W, and still a closer series here than the start was, as I think Howgun are starting to get a little bit loose, finding the kills they need, hitting the shots. Illusionists have been, again, pretty good with their coordination. Having the experience under their belt definitely shows, and I don't know if it's necessarily here though, as we do see we did hear some unfamiliarity with the map from both sides. We now shift objectives, so again they're going to have to adjust, shift sides to the opposite end of the map, and this objective can get a little bit volatile as it's almost in the center of the map. You can get into some early utility and grenade fights over that center area of the map, and as a result, the objective space. So if Illusionists decide to press right out the gate, they may run into some early fighting. But I don't know if Howgun are going to set up for that kind of aggression. A few changes have occurred too between Season 11 and 12. And so teams that can utilize and capitalize on these new changes are going to be teams that end up, finding those favorable picks here and there. With some big new angles to be taken, I do think we could see Howgun put up another solid defensive round as we dive back into the action. Round number 3 of map 2. And
Oh my god. Do I get 2 guns now? Oh, yeah, it's syringes.
It's like a false start here.
I don't want my KD getting messed up.
And the reset. The other way, of course, of solving or resetting the game is to kill each other, and so a little insight again into that reset technique. Eating the KD. You can hear one did not want to have their KD be affected, and so unfortunately I don't think the death. Oh, I wonder if the death counts. I think it might. I mean, obviously it doesn't in the grand scheme of things, but on the scoreboard, it shows. So I do think those deaths count in the reset. Yeah, both Creeper and Ripper have 1 extra than anyone else on the team. Hopefully they solve their technical issues and we can get back into the action for round 3 shortly. They do still have that full minute and a half between rounds. It does seem to be being utilized here. Obviously, both teams trying to figure out and teach this map to those that aren't in the know on their squad. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call to both teams to practice a little bit more on this map as well. Again, it is one of my favorites. Very nice stylistic design. A little bit of a toy soldier vibe. But back into the action we do go. As we get in to round number 3 for real of map 2.
Turn around, bro.
I lost it. I don't know where my iPad is. Where?
Right there.
Oh.
On the floor,
Where
bro.
did I
And Howgun out on defense. Illusionists getting ready for their push up through the center. Smoke's coming through, but Ripper overthrows the corner. And Gun Grip nearly snags Ripper trying to cross. Slenmy laughing at that missed smoke. And in the chaos, Yuji is pushing up. They do get tagged, though. Creeper IDs the cross. Communication not coming through, and oh no, a team kill as Creeper, worried about the position of Yuji, takes those shots. Now this res attempt could get punished. Ripper fortunately making it around that edge. And Yuji could be in for a couple of kills here. Ripper with a very quick reaction, able to scoop up Yuji. Illusionist now pushing in up through the center. 1 or 2 over on that red lane as well, but Book of Page on objective and defending. Sledmy goes down in through the edge. Book of Page catches one up through the center. Battle over on red lane as Illusionists sneak up on their push towards the objective and force this defense to defend from both sides. Geo calling out for some assistance as Sledmy also pushes in. Is Geo going to be ready for that angle? They should hear the footsteps. But Sledmy comes flying around. Tama can't find those shots in time. Red side secured by Jelly Jam James. And maybe a bit of a miss. A bit of false confidence. Oh, and actually not. The cap comes through. I thought Book of Page on objective would defend, but Ripper sneaks around the on objective defense and Illusionists, using that team coordination and comms to distract the available defense and the caster. While they cap on objective. Illusionists definitely looking good here in this series. Take a look at previous games played. I wonder how many they have this season already. Oh, it was Illusionists that played 2 and lost 2 and then won their most recent game. Hauga not going down against Echo Kings in their first series. And so Illusionists riding a bit of a momentum streak here now. Maybe they're on well, they are on track for a win streak here, at least a 2-game one, if they can lock in this next round. We still play out that map number 3, and it will be Haugun's choice. But a big cap for Illusionists there. Definitely throws the energy off for Haugun. They came in strong, had a nice solid round 1. Map 2 was looking to be a chance for them to bounce back. But now they are on the comeback just like that. The 6-digit code getting punched in on objective. 7 digits, excuse me, and 2 points. This objective definitely capable with the right plays, and just a small bit of lack of coverage over the top let that cap come through. I would have loved to have been on it. Unfortunately, we were watching the action over on the other side. The tunnel vision happened to me as well on the casting side. You know, you imagine what it's like with a headset on. Definitely a lot harder to focus on multiple different angles, all the different comms, who's alive, who's dead. So much to track. By the way, Illusionists put up a solid one. And now a point away from locking in the series. We'll see how they do it as they go on defense for round number 4.
If they won, I could coach them all, but that might be
Like,
a problem.
Yeah. Joey.
Oh, and an early nade, a long distance toss. Almost catches out Ripper. Ripper charging forward here. His gun grip actually catches the kill. A big pickup, shuts down that aggressive defensive setup. Allows for that push over to the red lane, which they are setting up for. Either that or they are going to cut up through the center and hug that side. But either way, Creeper on a bit of a rotation to potentially catch that long angle across the map. Suppressive rounds that, if anything, are getting pretty close to Yuji. Keeping them tucked in. Jelly Jam holding the edge here as Book peeks up under the crack. Don't think Jelly's gonna spot that. They do actually. Book goes down. A big counter kill there. Illusionist on the board.
Can we get a kill count? How many dead?
Still Reverie, no action in red lane. Howgun playing this one very patiently. Two slow lurking their way up that side, utilizing those cement bricks to crouch past. Receiver catches one on that red side while Yuji scoops up one through the center. And confirming that kill. We have battles across both sides, red lane and the center. Catching that heat. Theo and Yuji working their way up here. Jelly Jam goes down. A big pickup there from Yuji. Okay, actually an opportunity to push on to objective. Yuji, however, rotating around far side here, almost looking for the kills more than that cap. Reverie, confused by the footsteps, doesn't realize it's an enemy. Down they go. They've lost control now of this side of objective. Slenmy should be aware of that. You see them turn, but it might be too late as Yuji's already rotated. Uh-oh, and a great read there. Hearing those footsteps, they pick up the kill. Jelly Jam trying to catch Geo out through the center. Minute 50 on the clock.
Dead or not?
And it comes down to Gun Grip Customs in a 1v2. And they clutch it up here. This push out, definitely a tough one. As Slenmy does have an angle there. The toe's not spotted. Slenmy, I think, sees the cross, but they can't get the shots. Now they're waiting for the later angle cross here. Oh, and they can't thread that needle, so Gun Grip gets through, confirms that kill. And we're into that 1v2 clutch scenario for Gun Grip here. Is Jelly Jam on a rotation out in the open. And now invisible. To Gun Grip's line of sight, who is continuing to swing. Slenmy's there, but a nice shot as they swing around and catch out Gun Grip. Illusionists lock in the series 4-1 with a map 2 victory. They always play out that map 3, however, because rounds 1 matters, and so Howgun gonna want to get a map they're comfortable on and try and get a map W here so that they can minimize damage done to their rank. Start of the season is really important for a lot of these teams as they do go up and down in that regular season ladder. You want to start season 12 with a kick, and Illusionists bouncing back from a rough season start, 0-2, have managed to put themselves now into a 2-game win streak, so they are even keel. And if anything, maybe able to go up a bit here if they can lock in a 3-map in a row win. Curious where we're headed, though, for map number 3. Could be another custom map. Does seem to be taking a bit for that lobby to get to shift over to our next map. Maybe Howgun will keep it close quarters and take us to, I believe, Sand is the other custom map in the map pool. I believe it's Sand. Shipyard and West. But that will not be the case. Map 3 is actually going to be range. We're getting away from that close quarters action. Trying to get into a little bit of a sniper situation here. See what the likes of the Howgun squad can put together on this one. But I think a choice that is a wise one. You know, they have been having a tough time on these close quarters against this team. Illusionist coordination proving tough to deal with. So they go to range, but the trouble with range is, again, if you do have a coordinated team, there are opportunities for you to encircle, surround, and suffocate, if you will, the objective as all 5 push in on the same timing. And so Howgun may not find map 3 to be as easy as they are anticipating. Either way, Downfall has been a while since we played it, and so good to see it get into the rotation. Very few teams opting to choose this one, and I wonder if it is in the map pool. I know in terms of rules, if both teams agree to a map, they can play it despite it being in the map pool or not. But I'm not sure. Either way, a few more minutes before we get into map number 3, and so it does give me time to recommend anybody to head on over to the VR Master League website, where you can find the caster application. So if you go to VRML, you go to the Onward specific page, you go to register, and you apply to the production team. You will find our universal caster application app there, and we are recruiting for new casters for season 12. Slowly bringing on some new folk already, and so going to be exciting to see them join in on the cast next week. But if you're interested, head on over and apply, as we do actively recruit during the season now. And so I will be checking those applications periodically, and if there's some new ones, I'll be bringing folks in that have put in a good app. But we are definitely looking for new casters, so be sure to check that out if you are interested. We do appreciate you. As for map number 3, I see both teams in. Go ahead and make sure they are aware. Ready to go. Looks like we're waiting on illusionists. We'll dive into the start of map number 3. But Illusionist definitely confident in their communication. They definitely seem confident in their game plan, and obviously their game plan worked well for them in those first 2 maps. Those that also may not know, this is a bronze matchup, so these 2 teams new to the league and low in the regular season ladder. There's a diverse range of skill in this game, and when we get to that higher tier gameplay, it's very different than what we're seeing here. Not necessarily bad or good different, but very different. And I do enjoy watching both. I enjoy watching new teams try new things. But I also do enjoy a good quality high tier matchup. And so the goal has been to showcase some newer squads at the start of the season. And as we get deeper into that regular season, start focusing more on the top of the ladder, because that's what matters for our post-season tournament that will determine who gets prizing. Prize pool already over $5,000 as it continues to grow. And so map number 3 is underway as these teams are on the pursuit to climb up that regular season ladder. Illusionists.
My freaking stock. Hold on.
You knocked magnets of this.
Oh no, Jelly Jam James not set up, and this spawn can definitely lend itself to some early action.
You got some of you have the mentality of an ape.
If this team decides to push up fast, they could be running into some early engagements, but Howgun on a bit of a slow rollout. The referee getting the most aggressive on this defense as he spots his first target. Sledme scoops up one. Yuji tries to take out,
behind. Careful.
I think maybe a confusion in team fire.
One flanked around the back.
But Howgun lose 2. Rage somehow gets past Reverie. Almost working their way up to the objective, but they get shut down, and now Howgun left with just Yuji and Gun Grip very far away from this objective. Howgun almost expecting the aggression to come in here on this map. They're set up almost a defensive one as Gun Grip works their way over to the 3-story. They're going to be trying to peek out to the center to try and catch out any of these forward defensive positions, looking for the likes of Jelly Jam, but not finding him. Usually spots with Jelly Jam on the corner. Tries to gun up in time and take those shots, but can't connect. I think Yuji may think that they confirmed that kill. Could be bad news later on, as Jelly is still very much alive in the center. We just wait for that Howgun offense to eventually push. It almost feels like maybe they've forgotten that they are on offense, as this defense has really been applying pressure on them out the gate. But they've gotten 2, and so Illusionists are getting whittled down just a bit there as Jelly Jam tries to get Yuji on the rotation. The over-aggression catches them out. Reverie goes down as Gun Grip catches another, and Illusionists, just like that, are down to 1.
Confirm who's alive.
Creeper radioing in who he has on the battlefield and hearing nobody. Definitely not the indicator they're looking for. Still, though, Howgun with a good bit of a comeback here as they start to push up now as a duo, may be able to catch Creeper. Creeper's in an all-important position, though, on objective. Ultimately, someone they have to kill if they want to push. Oh, I think Gun Grip spots them out, looking for the kill. Creeper getting tagged there. We'll have to heal. And again, calling out for the teammates, but no one's there. And I wonder if Howgun are going to go for a cap. Usually could punch in the code here.
Smoke.
Nate almost comes in. Yuji's tablet out, and Gun Grip's going to go for the kill. A point's a point, and they take what they can get. A big round there from Gun Grip. Maybe he's the reason they picked this map. 5-0 as they get the ace. The over-aggression from Illusionists costing them dearly. Up a point on map number 3. If you want to catch more of this action too, you can also tune in tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST for the EU Venues Showcase. That matchup will be... what teams? Oh, a French team versus a Spanish one? Yes. I need to consult with our fellow French-Canadian Dakin man on the pronunciation of this squad. Liz. Oh man, I cannot Galoyas Refractares versus Mancos BT. A map that a lot of folks do want to tune in and catch. Definitely has a good bit of voting going on the VRML site. Will be cast by myself and Sky Joker at 12 p.m. PST tomorrow afternoon. So if you do want to catch a good quality game again, tune in at 12 p.m. PST. Those teams a bit higher in rank. But I also think new relatively. A lot of teams joined Season 11. Seen a lot join Season 12, and really fun to drop in and see how these squads perform. We get ready to dive back into map number 3. Round number 2. Howgun versus Illusionists.
Oh my god.
And again, this defensive position can get hit early out the gate on the spawn, but Illusionist opting to utilize this time to go up through the center. Oh, and catching out this late rotation from Howgun. Slenmy almost gets another. Usually does get across, though, and Ripper could be running into that defensive line of sight soon enough. The free fire from Uzi nearly connects. When Ripper almost spots that head on the corner, and I think they actually did see it. Could be bad news if Uzi decides to re-peek. Even up top, though, not necessarily safe. Lend me there. Also watching that Uzi angle. Ripper going on for a bit of a rotation. Uzi could get caught out if they're not careful. And the double peek up. Uzi goes down. And their direct objective defenders are gone. Reverie finds another up on the top floor. The duo is coming crashing in from the other side. Book of Page and Tamba are in trouble as Howgun are into a 2v5. Reaper catches another one. And Book of Page, the final defender here. Here's all these comms on the other side, and so should be ready to properly hold. And in this chaos, Illusionists are on objective. The comms drawing enough attention that Ripper is punching in the code with no rotation out of Book of Page. They were so distracted by the duo on the other side that a cap comes through, and Illusionists, just like that, snatch away the lead again from Howgun. They have not allowed that team to hold on to a lead long for both rounds on Quest and Downfall. Another cap, though, coming through, and they had all the time in the world. You know, they got those early kills. They got rid of the on-objective defense. The comms over on that corner eventually allow for the cap to be entered in, and we are now what could be 2 rounds away from Illusionists locking in the series. But again, Illusionists coming out here looking very strong. You know, the coordination on point, very focused, and, you know, maybe a bit of an introduction to the league for Howgun as they kind of get an idea of just how competitive things can be, even entering into the space. It does help to really be ready to compete in advance. You know, have your maps planned out, have those scrims that you play with your team, and put in that little bit of work. Really try and hone in the skill set, but this is what I love about the start of seasons. You get to see who has done that work, who has put in the effort during the off season to prepare, who has been practicing as a team. And if I had to say so, Illusionists are practiced. You know, obviously trying to play as many games as they can. I presume doing scrims as well, but good to see that out the gate after a tough couple of losses, Illusionists have managed to bounce back and proving that they can bounce back off of tough losses as well.
What is
I
that
should've
guy
gone
doing?
sniper
What are
on
you
this
doing?
one.
I got the wrong one.
Pulling in my arms. I don't even know where the uplink is.
Get a gun
It's the
stock.
assault
They're
weapon.
really good for sniping. I grabbed the bad gun stock for sniping with a PKM. That ain't gonna go well.
Here's a gun stock. I use a chair. I sit down, wrap my legs around it, and use a chair.
I mean, it works. It works. But I use a gun stock, like a
Northwatch,
physical one.
Northwatch, Northwatch. Dead across.
North Tower.
One.
North
Now, the tactical couch is a meme as old as Onward. But it's been, there, you know, new teams, same old conversations. The tactical couch, the tactical chair. Or you could just get yourself a pro tube, stabilize your aim while you're on the go, not necessarily having to use a piece of furniture to make sure that you shoot straight.
Push.
Instead, you can use a handy dandy mount from one of our fantastic sponsors. But Ripper here could pop up and over this ledge and snag two. Gun grip's not looking. Nobody's looking. Why would they? Slemmy shuts down Geo. Oh, and Ripper's team killed. It could have been devastating for Howgun. As Yuji finds his Jelly James, Howgun may put up the Marsoc round. Illusionists commit to a very aggressive setup here. And it is costing them a little bit. They are getting countered just a touch. Gun grip just missed Slenemy crossing.
Comms.
Like Reverie is going to be dropping back, trying to pick up Creeper. This is a very risky
I hope I don't
rotation.
get sniped.
Fortunate that folks have dropped off their angle and Reverie able to get across. Oh, they have to get up into the two-story and get the res.
We sniped. We snipe him. Yes. Okay. He's right there. He's sniping. I'll help you. Stay in the corner.
Oh, and Reverie finds the
Got him,
counter.
Like
got him,
right here.
got him.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful.
A bit of a bounce back here for the Illusionist defense.
He's in the
All
corner.
right. So when you're sniping, stay in this corner, like a corner area, and they barely see you. So you have an advantage. Learn that from
And
Fake
Grip able to
Tactics.
get rid of Slenmy on the edge. But Howgun nowhere near objective, and with 2 minutes left, they're going to have to move soon enough. Illusionist down to just Creeper and Reverie up here in the north.
He's dead.
They also don't have fantastic coverage of this objective. There could be a cap opportunity
Yeah.
if they were to rotate far
Gonna
enough
push him.
south.
They're gonna push him.
Oh! And a big
One down,
pickup
one
coming in from Gun Grip. Reverie all alone now to cover this entire objective space. I don't imagine they're feeling very confident in this hilltop angle right now. As I say that, the rotation coming through. 1:23. And this Marsoc squad has to really start moving. I hear Gun Grip calling out for the rush. It is what is required here. Although it probably will only take 30 seconds to get up the middle. Have time. Comes the smoke. Reverie is still there on objective and spots the cross. Smoke is out, and it actually helps them just a bit blend in. Flash on objective. 30 seconds now as Yuji comes flying around the edge. One goes down. Gun Grip is here. Yuji connects. Can't get the kill. Reverie drops back down the pistol. not connecting. Gun Grip has the tablet out. Halgun's trying to cap, and they do.
No. Fuck.
Reverie can't find the shots through the smoke. The lead in Halgun's hands. 3-2 as we trade caps here on map 3. What a surprise to see from this Halgun squad as they sort of rally around Gun Grip here on this final map. Gun Grip 7-1 with a cap. Coming in huge for this Halgun squad. I mean, really taking control too, coordinating the other two, making sure they're on time. Really a key element of this squad right now on this map, and well, Halgun now has a 3-2 lead on map 3. This has turned into a bit of an exciting map, final map for the series. It was looking like Illusionist with an opportunity to really run away with it, and now Halgun just have to defend. Of course, has not been easy for them this entire series, and so if Illusionist can kind of refocus, they may as well go for a cap. It's a bit of a Yoda thing. They may go for the cap as well. I guess a Yoda would be go for the cap. They may as well. Or a Yoda. That also works. Whatever. We'll see if they do go for the cap as we get back into the action. Map number 3, round number 4, I think. 2 caps, 2 points apiece. Total of 5. Cut it, add it, subtract it. Do your small division. Square root. You get your score.
I don't know. You wanna go up on 3rd story and just rain hell?
Sure.
Oh my god, this is a bad spot. No, I don't think so.
Out the spawn though, hunting for some of these early kills, you can actually catch defense. Oh.
Near
One's
Valley.
going twins.
You can catch them on the rotation, and both Creeper and Ripper. Oh no.
You got one.
Team kill coming through
I'm
there
getting
on a
shot
Geo. And UG trying to deny entry up from the center there. We'll drop back off that 2-story angle, but Illusionists working their way up to the objective.
No scope. I'm gonna shoot you. You scared me.
And yeah, Illusionist definitely feeling relaxed despite the
Where is
current
it?
outcome. Almost a team kill
Full,
on that cross.
twins. You clear second. You clear second.
Play Jam gets rid of one. Ripper flies up onto the 2-story. An angle from Tamba down there does not connect, and the suppressive fire comes through. More suppressive fire. Tamba just missing the head of Ripper there. On the back side of things, Jelly Jam James doing some damage from that hilltop side. Some suppressive fire on an objective, an indicator that the push is coming in there. Yuji on the corner dies. And Geo dies as well. Illusionists take the Marsoc round with the kill. Tie it up 3 apiece. Do not let go of map number 3 easily. They're looking to grab all of the points here for this series. They want to snag this final map. I see Sickness coming in about the sniper couch. You know the old days, my friend. A meme as old as time, but again, kind of weird how it comes up with fresh faces too. Some things never change, and that's certainly one of them. Shout out to all the folks that have been tuning in again. I know I've said it a few times, but I do appreciate everyone that has dropped by. I do appreciate everyone hanging out and catching the action. At the very least, the final map here for today. That's been a fun series to tune into. Really, again, just getting a snapshot of where all of these teams are in the ladder. You know, we've seen some really good new teams come in and duke it out. Both squads very practiced and ready to go. We've seen, obviously, the best of the best beginners playing. And then we're kind of getting an idea of what brand new squads to this league are looking like and what their understanding of the maps are. And in Illusionist's case, you know, they are definitely looking good here. Halgun, however, still able to stick in here on Downfall. Keep it close. The ace, of course, from Gun Grip helps. The cap as well. Definitely well, all 3 points attributed to them at this point. But still, a better round 3 here. And as we get into our final round, we'll see how this all shakes out for map number 3.
They all just hear us talking about
Russian takes care
Russians
of their
don't give two flying bricks.
But Illusionist definitely playing good here today.
Do you want?
You can.
And we've seen some good plays come in from Halgun.
I can't see you one play, it's not like I can.
Several 1v2 scenarios coming up.
Page goalie.
Not able to
Okay,
lock
so we
in
tan,
those
so I'm not
rounds.
gonna shoot tan people anymore.
And Tamba learning their lesson. Team kill. I don't know about costing them the round, but definitely does hurt them. And now we get into it. Out the gate, some suppressive fire coming in.
It's called spraying. I don't care if they know where I am. I'm just free flow.
I do love to see the
Sniper, North Hotel.
relaxed style here. Focus when it matters. Creeper calling out that spot. Jelly James still is alive. Yuji with the bolt action. Not able to connect there onto Creeper. And Illusionist getting aggressive on defense. Yuji goes down to Jelly James. Ripper catches out Geo. They are surrounding the final defenders as Tamba is trying to hold the assault, and they cannot. Ripper locks in the defensive round for Illusionist and map number 3. They take the full force of that series with all 3 maps. And a solid performance. Halgun, fun to watch. Definitely interesting to see, again, the diversity and where we're at with all the teams joining the league. And hopefully they can watch back the VOD, learn from the VOD, and come into that next round a little bit better. I certainly know Illusionists will utilize this VOD as a good one to review. You obviously want to learn from your victories, see what you did well. And hopefully they can carry this momentum into the rest of the season, as there is plenty of VRML regular season action left ahead of us. We have more games tomorrow. Again, another one at 12 p.m. PST. That will be the French team Les Gaulois Refractaires. So bad. I gotta get Dak into help. And Mancos, the Spanish squad, duking it out at 12 p.m. PST. Be sure to stop by. Me and the Sky Joker will be casting that one. That'll be fun. And then, of course, the regular season games happening over on twitch.tv/onward_VRML. We've been showcasing a lot of new squads, and as we get more into the season, you will see some of your fan favorites, the top of the ladder squads, duking it out. A lot more focus on the votes will come through, as I've said, in Discord chat, but I figured I'd voice it here to everyone that's dropping by as well. But a shout out to you, and a thanks for tuning in. A quick shout to our sponsors, ProTube VR, VRML, HyperX, VRware, and Border Foods. Do appreciate all of those sponsors coming together to help promote the VR Master League and grow VR esports. And with that, I will be signing off. My name has been Nightfire. That has been our series for the night. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST for the EU Venue Showcase right here. So until then, stay classy.